What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video party. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because of this video we're finally taking a look at the anime that took the world by storm, Spy X Family. Is it pronounced Spy X Family or Spy Family or even Spy Cross Family? I don't know. Anyway, this anime came out right in the middle of spring of this year, and I would have done a review back in June when the first part of this season was completed, but unfortunately, I got COVID, so I was put out of commission for a while. Well, you know what they say, better late than never. So for this video, we'll be taking a look at both part 1 that concluded back in June and part 2 that just concluded today, giving us the full season spectrum. Anyway, one of the things that made this anime stand out from all the others this year was its overall pitch, where we have a spy, an assassin, and a telepath living under one roof as a normal family. And when I first saw a trailer for this show, I was like, oh snaps, it's the Americans, but in anime form. Well, after I saw the first 3 episodes, I soon realized how way off I was with that speculation. Because the series starts off with Agent Twilight, who is this highly trained spy and is tasked with obtaining a target so that he can secure world peace between 2 nations. Seems simple enough, except that he needs a kid to be enrolled in the same school as the target's kid just so he can get close to the target himself. Enter Anya, who for months has been bombarding the internet with some of the most funniest and adorable memes. Everywhere I look, I see her face. Seriously, the manga artist must have known what he was drawing because every episode in this series gives us a brand new meme. Yes! Okay, for those of you who may not know, one of my favorite anime of all time is Ascendance of the Bookworm, and the main character, mine, is just so freaking adorable. Well, after watching episode 1 of this series, mine got some competition because Anya just steals the show. And aside from Anya, we also have Your Briar, who is this highly trained assassin known as Thorn Princess. So what happens when you have a spy and an assassin living under one roof trying to raise a kid? Oh, and here's the catch. Neither of them know that the other one is a spy or assassin except for Anya, who can clearly read minds. At this point, this isn't the Americans, as my sister gladly pointed that out to me, that this is more like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where you have both parents doing their own separate jobs behind each other's back, while at the same time trying to be a family for this little girl who clearly knows the truth about both of them. Now, even though this is a spy show, a lot of the story is very wholesome, where you have a lot of moments of Lloyd, Agent Twilight, and your Thorn Princess trying to be true parents for Anya. Along the way, there are several action-packed moments that are pretty fun to watch and are also pretty funny, given how neither parent suspects that the other parent is a highly trained operative. What also makes this show very fun to watch is how Anya can read minds and is somehow put in the viewer's position. In anime, there are moments where a character needs to reflect on themselves through narration of their inner thoughts. So to have a character like Anya who can hear those inner thoughts, she's put in a position where she can pretty much alter the course of the story, given how she now knows what her parents are thinking of, and now knowing that her parents are a spy and assassin living with her. And one of the other things that I really liked about the story was how, despite this being a mission and cover-up, you soon begin to see this spy act more like a father and this assassin act more like a mother for this little girl. And you see this throughout the season, where Lloyd tries to be more understanding for Anya and Yor tries to be more nurturing for her. But don't let those smiles fool you, because there are moments in this anime where both Lloyd and Yor need to remind the audience, don't mess with this family. For Lloyd, we see how this man has a particular set of skills that he has acquired from a very long career. Skills that make him a nightmare to people. As for Yor, there's a reason why she's called Thorn Princess, because she's been doing this line of work since she was 12, so she knows a thing or two on how to deal with people. And yet they are unaware of each other's work. But anyway, the first half of this season is broken up into 2 distinct parts, where in the first part, it's all about getting everyone together, making sure everyone's comfortable living under one roof, While in the second part, it's all about Anya going to school, getting through her classes so that she can help her dad accomplish this mission in achieving world peace. Which is where we start to see Anya play a much bigger role in the story as she's trying to help her dad with his mission by getting good grades in order to get close to the target's second son, Damien. And after seeing Anya take charge in this part of the season, it really shows you that this anime is not afraid to hand the leading role from one character to another. Because right at the beginning, it was Lloyd who was tasked with assembling this family together, and once Anya was able to get to school, it's now up to her to carry on this mission. I only wish that Yor had a much bigger part in this season, but we'll get to that later. Also, watching Anya go to school is hilarious because while she still can't read minds, she still somehow manages to get bad grades in her classes. How is that even possible? I mean, you can read minds. You have the ultimate cheat code in getting past school. But anyway, she does have her moments as she tries to get close to Damien for the good of the mission, and this is the sort of thing that hooked my sister onto this series because she loved watching this telepathic girl try to be friends with this high-class citizen boy, and it is hilarious. Also, one of the things that I really loved about this anime was the ending song. Because in most anime, I usually tend to focus on the music, whether it's the actual score, musical soundtrack, or even the opening and end credit song. Now, while I enjoyed the opening song for this first part of the season, it was the end credit song that really stood out to me. Comedy by Gen Hoshino is probably among my top 10 most played songs of 2022. For me, it has this lo-fi hip-hop beat that makes you just want to chill at a coffee shop, and after looking at the lyrics, it's all about escaping to a happy place. And watching the end credits play to the beat of the song, that is some good editing and animation. Not gonna lie, there are times where I've been caught dancing to this song. Now, if I had to describe this song, it would be that it's very elegant. And if I had to describe the first part of this season, it would be that it's smart and elegant. With that being said, let's take a look at the second half of the season, which just wrapped up today. Now, before we get into the story, let's talk about the opening song for this second half, Souvenir by Bump of Chicken. Okay, when I go to Tokyo, I'm definitely going to be adding this song onto my vacation soundtrack because this song is freaking good. It pretty much describes how meeting someone can bring new life into your world. And honestly, this song gets me jumping. But anyway, the second half of this season was released back in October and pretty much picks up right where we left off, where we get to see this family get a dog. And keeping up with the theme of keeping secrets, this dog's got an ability that is too much for this show. Not gonna spoil anything, but it's pretty cool. And the first 3 episodes of this season kind of serve as a little mini movie as they're all connected to one another, where we get to watch this family try to get a dog. At the same time, everyone gets their moment of shine as we see Lloyd go on a mission, Yor use her assassin skills while Anya is reading minds to prevent something terrible from happening. And these 3 episodes are meant to remind everyone just how badass these characters are. But after that, the show decides to change things up by giving us little mini episodes throughout the remainder of this season. Now, what I mean by that is that throughout the remainder of this season, each episode is pretty much broken up into 2 different stories of our characters going on some random adventures. And that's okay, because sometimes you do need some filler episodes to provide some breathing space in the story. It's when this season decides to release, I think maybe 7 filler episodes in a row, where you start to wonder, are we watching the same show? So what first started off as a compelling, wholesome anime with good action and some fun espionage now becomes a wacky episode of the week sort of thing. And while we do see Lloyd and Anya do their thing, unfortunately Yor is the one that suffers the most from this change, as she goes from this feared assassin who broke a melon with her fist now becomes a bumbling wife who can't cook. Which sucks because right at the beginning of the season, you were introduced to Yor as the Thorn Princess, who's the most deadly assassin on the planet. And by the time you reach the end of this season, you kind of feel sad at how far this character has fallen. Granted, she does have her moments at being a mom for Anya, and some of those moments are pretty cool. But you sort of wish you got to see her go on more missions and Now that I think about it, I think episode 2 was the only time we ever saw her on a mission. So while this season had a very strong start, unfortunately by the time you reach the end, you feel as if they were making things up as they went along. Honestly, if I had to describe the second half of this season, it would probably be this. Now, based on what I know about the manga, apparently it's still currently running, so I'm hoping that if this anime gets more installments, the story will get much better sooner. Okay, I just realized right now that there are some reports saying that not only are we getting a season 2, but we're also getting a movie, so woo! Let's go! I'm so freaking excited for this! If this season was the only one that had the most minor setbacks and season 2 or the movie are far better than this one, then all is forgiven because now I can rest easy knowing that this series is far from over. So aside from the negatives, this show pretty much has it all. It has action, it has humor, and most importantly, it is very wholesome that just gives you these warm fuzzy feelings. And upon watching this first season, I now realize that this was one of the few anime where my sister, who is just starting to get into anime, became religiously obsessed with this show, which made this whole experience even better because while my brother and I would watch the sub episodes, my mom and my sister would watch the dub episodes, so we were pretty much a Spy X family. And what shocked me even more is apparently this anime is streaming on Hulu right now. So if you're interested in watching something about spies and assassins while also focusing on family, I highly recommend you watch this show. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. That was my overall review for Spy X Family. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button to see all these updates from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.